time to talk business thanks to our partners Forsyth Barr. We've just been talking about Japan's first female Prime Minister who's won a big majority in a snap election. What does it mean though for the economy, the world economy? What does it mean for us? Garth Bray, host of Herald Now Business, is with us. Garth, good morning.
Try and sum it all up. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, look, Sane Takaichi, the Takaichi trade, as they've called it since she was put in there in October last year, has done wonders for the Nikkei, and certainly it was cracking sort of new highs ahead of the result just over the weekend there, and you've sort of seen that probably will back up again. I think 291 seats that they've picked up at least, it seems, and so that gives them a majority, the LDP, and with their coalition, the Japan Innovation Party, they're likely to have a sort of a super majority, which means they can look at some pretty substantial things. Talking geopolitics, possibly even reversing the long-standing rule that Japan has about sort of not getting involved in other conflicts. It's sort of purely for defence. But obviously, so very hawkish on China and on trade there. And I guess from our point of view, I mean, the huge relationship, they're a number 4 trading partner behind China, the US and Australia. And basically we feed them and they keep us moving, whether it's, you know, cars and automotive related stuff and so on. So always keen interest in what the yen is doing there, I suppose, and it's certainly looking a lot stronger, weaker, against our dollar at the moment, just because bond markets are thinking, crikey, some of the moves that they are making look like they are going to be quite inflationary. Some of the spending that they are doing is pretty extreme.
Tax cuts
on, basically they're going to get rid of consumption tax, GST on food. So maybe, you know, we'll just have to see how that lands, whether the offset there and prices that they pay when they're picking stuff up from the shops is offset by a currency loss, I suppose. For each.
So yeah, should we be getting closer to America? They'll be spending lots on defence that they otherwise wouldn't have spent.
Yeah, huge.
Now, critical minerals, hot topic. We spoke about this a lot last week. We got some news about one seeking government support.
Yeah, so this is Taiko Critical Minerals, not on the NZX yet. They took quite a few journalists around their, proposed estate earlier last month, including from Business Desk and the Herald. Nice piece in the Herald this morning from Kate McNamara spelling all of this out. And interestingly, given your chat earlier with Matt, picking up the fact that they are seeking debt from the government, basically. They're going to try and raise about 40 million out of the exchange, out of the stock market and equity, and they're going to try and raise a similar amount of debt, and a chunk of that they would like in the form of a regional infrastructure fund loan, which is, as the article points out, it's not exactly on the face of it an obvious candidate for it because of the structure of that. You know, when you're investing in an individual business, it's got to generate benefits or services for other businesses or the community, and it's about energy security, water security, food security, transport or growth of a Māori-owned business. So it's not quite under the criteria, but you wonder if it might just get a bend. And then I guess that plays out down the track with will it pay off or not. But I mean, interesting numbers. They're saying the minerals that they're going to extract from that area, typically you'd see about 2 to 3% concentration in the kind of soils you have around there. And they've got some reasonably reliable reporting they've put up that says 19 to 12% heavy minerals concentration. So loads of the stuff there, plenty of scope for extraction and processing of it around Greymouth. And of course the processing of the critical minerals is just as important because that's where China's got a big chunk of it.
Get it out. The thing is, if these minerals are so critical, why is the government need to pay any money to get them out? Like, well, where is the private money? What's going on here?
Good question. I suppose it's always risky. Will it pay off? A lot of these things depend on, Chile at the moment is having a real hard time just processing its copper. This is a good piece at Delipa. Fonseca's got a timely piece on the critical minerals extravaganza in Business Desk today. They've had a 1 in 1,000 year drought, a mega drought. And so because they spend so much time processing copper, they lose access to easy water and so on. Then it's a good argument for putting your eggs in lots of different baskets, but it is a risky proposition always, taking stuff out of the ground.
A risky basket. Now let's go to reporting season, more this week.
Yeah, look, this is every 6 months or so we get a bit of a pulse check. About 34 companies are likely to report sort of half-year results or full years in some cases. Scalar big exporter, leads off the charge of that later this week, and then next week and over the next couple of weeks we'll start to see results from the likes of Fletcher reporting post the announcement of its sale of its construction company. EBOS, big health and animal care company, which lost a big contract to Chemist Warehouse last year and took an absolute nosedive, punishing trade. I think a lot of Aussie investors selling out of that stock and not liking a change of management, so they get a chance to basically stump up. And I guess our friends at Forsyth Barr, who you'll hear more from shortly, I'm sure, saying, look, the market will be unforgiving to unsubstantiated second half improvement commentary. In other words, show us the money, don't just talk about it.
Don't talk about it.
Auditors, though, still winning. Nice piece in BD today. Audit fees
Won't buy your
shot
fluff.
up 21% year on year.
Bit
So
of
the rising
inflation.
cost- never mind your AI, here's your fee.
Garth, thank you. Garth Bray, host of that's Herald Now business host Garth Bray, I should say. We talk business every day with our partners, Forsyth Barr.